Hey, my name's Paula John, and my pronouns are she, her, and I'm a multidisciplinary artist. I work a lot in textiles, but like sculpture, video, often just sort of whatever medium makes sense for the project. So the work I have in the show is actually something that I made 10 years ago when I was doing my MFA. So I wanted to work with textiles with this piece. When I made this, I was like my kind of early mid-20s. So it had been almost about 10 years since the original sort of events that this like record documents. And I, at the time, found it really validating, like to be like, okay, like this is a like black and white record that's like, this happened. And I mean, there's a lot there in terms of like family and just in general, like how we talk or don't talk about mental illness, right? So I found that evidence quite comforting. It was a big deal for me to read those things and to be like, okay, like this fills in some blanks. It was also sort of subverting the sort of power dynamic of like the psychiatrist or the doctor and patient. Which in my case, I was 15, you know, like I definitely thought I was so fucking sophisticated, but like I was a child, right? So there was this huge power dynamic. And then, you know, I like actually as an adult, like I wasn't being treated at that hospital anymore. So I just called up their records department and I got it. Like they were like $30 and we'll photocopy it for you, you know? So it felt quite powerful getting to see, just have the written record of like what's been written about me, just to also, I guess, like look at that time and reflect on it with like a big enough remove where I was like, I'm almost 25 and I almost have an MFA and like, whatever, I'm not this like miserable 15-year-old in this like small town who, you know, like just wants to go to art school. So it felt empowering, like quite empowering doing that. There's these plastic quilted letters that sort of spell out art is my therapy, which I also kind of like, I think that's a bit, you know, like funny and cheesy, but where that came from was my diary that I kept in the hospital. And so it's like 15-year-old Paula just like scribbling these like, you know, depressed sort of things. And then like at the top of one of the pages is just like written in ink, like just so bold. It's like art is my therapy, you know? And so it was a callback to that. And then also like the fact that it really has been, you know, and it was incredibly important for me to make this about that. So the process of making the quilt sort of came out of me like having this sort of source material that I knew that I wanted to work with, and I didn't know what I wanted to do with it, but textiles is something that I really enjoy working with, and my training is in photography and film. So I think silkscreen was something that I wanted to do, which is, it's a photographic process and it's a way to, you know, print images on fabric. I went and I learned, and that kind of gave me the pieces, and then the rest of it is just like, you know, just kind of sourcing fabric. So a quilt, what a quilt is and what distinguishes it from like another blanket is that there's multiple layers. So there's a kind of top fabric layer, a bottom fabric layer, and sandwiched in between those, what's called batting. So it's like a fluffy, it's what gives it that insulation. And then the act of quilting is to actually sew, connect through that, and connecting all three layers. I think that when I made the piece, I was sort of making it for myself, like, and I, you know, interested in sort of conversations around the power dynamics again, and like this sort of these medical contexts where, you know, there's like, I don't know, like a big box of papers existed about like me and like the worst time in my life somewhere. And so that was interesting. And I think maybe in like a more general sense, it was just sort of, it's still something stigmatized, right? So it's nice to, you know, talk about those sort of things and sort of, you know, there's always people that connect with you about it, and that's nice.